I could say, welcome everybody to the world's fastest accelerating production car. Or I could say, welcome to the world's safest 4-door, 2-booted family saloon. The Tesla Model S is a strange Venn diagram, bringing together the kinds of things we've never normally seen combined in a modern-day road car. And today, we are going to test things like the autopilot, like its performance. We're going to press all the buttons on the screen, but fundamentally, we're going to be reviewing this like it's a car. This is living with the Tesla Model S. So we're starting here over the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and what a wonderful day it is. We're going to be driving all the way down the coast to something called the Sea Cliff Bridge. If you've ever seen an Australian car commercial, you'll know this bridge. It's that wonderful sweeping bridge across the coastline. We'll try and get some great drone shots along the way. On the drive, we're going to be able to test real-world livability features of the Tesla, like cubby holders, cup holders, the range of the car, and all the things that you would actually care about in a daily living situation. The car we're testing today is the Model S 100D. There are 3 different Teslas you can buy for your money. There's the standard, the long range, and the performance. There's also a performance with ludicrous, which is a semi-fourth option. This is the long range car, and for your money, for your 165,000 Australian dollars, this is really the Tesla to have. It will still do 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds, but it also has the range of 550 plus kilometers, so it will go everywhere and do everything. The first thing you experience with the Tesla is, of course, the key. And I've got the key here. It's a little matchbox style car, quite a cute little thing. You press the front to open the front, you press the top to lock and unlock the car, and you press the back to open the boot. But in reality, you never actually touch or use the key. You can just keep it in your pocket. The car does most of the work for you. As you approach, that's a nice R8. As you approach the car knows, of course, that you're arriving, and it opens up the door handles. It opens up the door handles so that you can enter the car with ease. The first thing that you really experience is the size of these door sills. Now, I don't want to pick on the car too early, but over the course of a few days, the car's quite difficult to get in and out of. You have to lurch yourself over this sill, and you'll see that it really protrudes the driver's seat. Excellent for safety, but it makes your body make these lurches and noises that you've not really heard yourself before. So, let's get in the car, we'll test all the features, and move away from this lovely bridge over to another bridge. Most journeys these days start with a map, and the Tesla's got this great welcoming feature that integrates with your calendar and with your map application on your phone to help you figure out where you're going. I've been using this constantly. I've gone and typed in Sea Cliff Bridge here on my iPhone in the map application, and I now have the ability to tap share and share this destination here with the car. So if I tap Tesla, you'll see that instantly it will share it with the car, and it will put it up on the screen and even start navigating for me. Over here you can see that it shows me 67% is going to be my range when I arrive at the destination, and if I want to go on a round trip, it will show me 50% is going to be my range when we return. It's a wonderful feature that helps with planning and also with range anxiety. I have no concerns today that we're not going to get where we are going. I'm also starting at 83% because most of today I've been driving full throttle to get here. So now all we need to do, we don't even need to press start, we can just put it into drive, and we can drive, seatbelt, because I'm safety conscious, and we're on our way. What is the first thing that you look for when you get into a new car? For me, it's a place to put my sunglasses and my mobile phone. The Tesla has a lot of storage, but none of it is that ergonomic or user-friendly. For example, I have no little cubby holder here in the right-hand door panel. There's nowhere to put my sunglasses. I've got 2 giant storage cabins here in the middle, but they're so big that if I were, for example, to put my mobile phone in them, it's just all this space for it to rattle around and get lost. The number of things that I've lost here in the center console and had to reach my arm in to grab is almost countless already. Cup holders as well. For a car that has so many cup holders, it has no real usable cup holders. I'll show you what I mean. I've got 2 spaces here for cups, but if I do put any where I'd want it, all that I'm doing the entire drive is rattling my elbow into my Mount Franklin. So you just put the cups in the back and slide the dashboard forward. These are pretty much useless. Otherwise, the interior of the car does feel quite warm and plush. The seats are lovely. Here with this black leather, it's so soft to the touch. We've got this carbon layout on the dash. Truthfully, I'm a little bit tired of cars just putting carbon fiber everywhere. No one really cares about the lightweight nature of the front of the dashboard, but the car does feel quite clean and simple and premium. That's a unique surprise. So if they can evolve the storage capacity, this is a really lovely place to be. I'm also still trying to work out what this is for. It's the door handle, but it's also a little storage cabin, so many things can probably get stuck in this door handle and lost. When you are on a longer stretch of motorway, this is really the only scenario where autopilot comes into play. All that I need to do is pull this stalk towards me twice, and you hear the beeps to confirm that the car is ready to drive itself. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. This is not a self-driving feature. It's mostly a motorway assistant, but the car is now accelerating and it's driving for me whilst maintaining a position between all the other cars. That is stunning. That's the Sydney Harbour Bridge. It's also a really tight, narrow set of roads, so a nerving test. I'm feeling a bit like a passenger in my own car, but on a long stretch of motorway, this is a very relaxing feature. Your confidence in the car does grow quite quickly, and you do allow it to really take over these long stretches on its own. It's so pretty, isn't it? Look at the roof. Full glass roof. That's a view and a half. The car will also change lane on a freeway. I've indicated left and the car is now looking for an opportunity to merge. It does need quite a few spaces before it allows itself, so you spend a lot of time sitting here indicating, probably pissing off a lot of other drivers on the road, but there we go, the car's found a gap and it's moved in with reasonable safety, and now I'm continuing onto my freeway exit. Really, really nice. Around city streets, the Tesla is a really wonderful car to drive. The instantaneous nature of the powertrain does mean you can zip in and out of gaps very, very comfortably and quickly. Here on the screen as well, where we have the autopilot screen, we're able to see what cars are in front of me and what cars are behind me. I said the same thing in our Model 3 review a few weeks ago, that that's mostly useful for spotting blind spots, because the moment a car comes up in my right-hand corner, even if I don't look around, I'll be able to see on my screen there's a truck in my blind spot. So that is very, very useful. We're entering now some of Sydney's maze of tunnel networks here. This is the first opportunity for the day that we have to get absolutely lost in underground tunnels. What's a little bit disconcerting about autopilot is when it's in a lane, the car likes to stay exactly in the middle of the lane. Remember, it's computers reading this, not the human eye. So whereas right now, for example, when we're next to this very close wall on the left, I might like to stay a bit to the right-hand side of the lane, the car still stays in the middle, threading it through a very narrow gap. Usefully, you can also see the lane markings that the car is predicting on the screen. So it's now showing me if the road is curving left or right, or what cars it's aware of. So provided you pay some attention to the little world view on the screen, you can assure yourself that the car is going to go the right way. It hasn't made a mistake yet. I'm just really shitting myself. Wall, wall, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Where am I? Ooh. Okay, one noteworthy criticism. This is a long car and it's got a terrible turning circle. It's exposed in positions like this. You feel like you're wedging the car through the tightest of gaps. Usefully, if you do look on the screen at the front, rather than just telling you that there's a red line, there's panicking, it's showing you that you're 80 centimeters away from that particular obstacle. A useful metric, but goodness me, it is like trying to turn a small boat through a village. It's not the most mobile car. Quite a nervous passenger. Yeah, but there's the full visual of the car. It's showing me the display of the car park. And I'm in a really tight, kind of normal parking spot. This isn't a parallel park, this is a normal park. That is what the most advanced autopilot technology in the world thinks is an acceptable car park. It's about 2 meters on the road. We've all been in this situation, haven't we? We're in a shopping centre car park and a car has come along and parked right up next to our door, making it almost impossible to get in and out of the car. Luckily, with your Tesla, there is a solution to this, and it's called Summon. Summon is the feature that lets you move your car forwards and backwards using the iPhone app. And I've got the app right here. So if I go in and I press the Summon button, there I have options to move the car forwards and backwards. It's connecting to the car now, and when I press forwards, it's going to fold the mirrors in, flash the headlights, and just like that, it's going to start rolling my car forwards with no one in the driver's seat. Let go to stop, and just like that, you can open the door fully, step in, and drive away. How's this for a breakthrough? I've found a spot for my phone. There's a little cubby holder under the screen that you can just easily enough slide a telephone into. Only problem is, anytime I accelerate and use some of the torque of the car, you get a catchy mobile phone. Really irritates me. I just want a mobile phone slot to put something in without losing it. Good, we've got a good clean stretch of road now. It's a stunning view over here over the water. Goodness me, that torque is addictive. The throttle response is brilliant. The brake pedal feels mushy. There's no real feedback coming through the steering as well. This is numb, bland electric steering. The car is very, very heavy as well. You can feel the weight, but there's no real body roll. It feels very planted. You've got the four-wheel drive system, you've got the traction control which can adjust the amount of torque going to every wheel, so super precise traction control. It doesn't feel like it's drifting around. It is very precise. It's not the most dynamic car in the world, but I tell you what, it's surprisingly good considering the weight and considering the tons of lithium ion that you've got underneath your butt cheeks. We are just about here at Seacliff Bridge, and wow, what a view it is. Rainbow over there, ocean and cliff-facing walls. This is meant to be one of the most stunning driving roads in Australia, and it is just gorgeous. And I think out of respect of this car and the breadth of its abilities and what it's been able to achieve here on the road today, I'm not going to drive this one. I think, if it will let me, I think it's worth letting the car enjoy this and drive itself. If you want to buy a wristwatch, there are a number of ways you can spend your dollars. You could buy something old and mechanical, or you could buy something that's new, modern and digital. The Tesla Model S 100D is the Apple Watch of cars. Its breadth of abilities is far beyond anything that its mechanical partners could compare to. The Apple Watch, for example, will tell the time better. It has applications. It can measure your heart rate and route you home, provided you remember to plug it in and charge it at the end of the night. I love the Tesla 100D. It's an extraordinary vehicle, but it's also okay on weekends to wear something old and mechanical, even if it's not technically as brilliant. But of course, this review is not yet over. We've only used 20% of the battery to get here, but we've got to get back to Sydney before we can call this job done. So, back onto the road. that's it. So we should be able to see on the screen inside now as well how much range there is. Let me borrow the camera, I'll be able to show this a little bit closer up. Inside the car, on the screen, we've now got this charging display that's showing us a number of statistics about how the battery is performing. We can see that already in no time at all we're on 51% with the battery, and it's going to take 50 minutes for the whole battery to charge. The advice that was given to me is to charge the car to about 80%. That's where it's at its optimum point. It's fast to charge and you can go a long way on 80% of battery, but perhaps the most interesting set of figures are down here. It's saying we're doing 664 kilometers per hour worth of charging. Now that's really interesting. I don't know what a kilowatt, or I don't know what 11 kilowatt hours means, but I understand the idea that if I do leave the car here for half an hour, I can then do 330 kilometers of driving. That's the kind of bite-sized figure that I can understand and really get my head around. What's interesting is that most people around here are parking their Teslas and then going in to do their weekly shop. So they leave the car for the half an hour they're in the shopping center. By the time they get back, their car is topped up. So provided you work the car into your weekly routine, kind of like how you'd plug your phone in at the end of a night, I can understand that this idea of range anxiety is a bit of a null point. There's no problem. This has been The Road Ahead. I've been your host, Ash Davies. Thank you so much for watching or listening, depending on what app you're using. Make sure you like or follow or subscribe and comment to engage. Let us know what you'd like to know about the Tesla. Otherwise, thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed today's drive with us.